Hi guys! Welcome to the Craft Time Studio, a place for polymer clay tutorials and other craft tutorials. I'm Ange, and I love sharing my passion for crafting. After making slabs for 20 straight tutorials, I needed a break, so for this week, I'm actually starting a new series on simple home decor using polymer clay. I see a lot of Boho inspired stuff on my YouTube channel and wanted to see if I could recreate a project with the materials I had at home. For this project, you will need polymer clay. I used white mixed with a little bit of pastel gold clay and granite clay for texture. Next, I used a mirror around 2.5 inches in diameter. I actually got this from an old compact mirror that I had at home. You will also need white and pearl gold acrylic paints. Some scrap aida cloth, some scrap native burlap cloth, which was also something I had lying around the house, a marking pen, a detail needle, a paintbrush, some E7000, and scissors. The first thing that we need to do is to trace a circle on the aida cloth. As you can see here, I just used a round container that was just a little bit bigger than my mirror. Using a marking pen, I carefully traced the outline on the aida cloth. Then, I got my scissors and cut along the outline. Once I have the circle cloth that I need, I get my acrylics and mix white with a little bit of pearl gold and just cover the entirety of my circle. This will not only give me the color I want, but coating the aida cloth with acrylic will also help stiffen it a bit for our project. Next, I conditioned my clay and flattened it into the number 3 setting on the roller. Once it was flattened, I take the container I used for tracing and I use my detail needle to mark the circle on the wider side. And then, I flip the container and trace the smaller side, making sure that it's as centered as I can make it. Then, I use a dotting tool. You can also use a needle if you prefer. I make holes first on the center, and then on the quarters, and then in between those to get a more or less even spacing on the holes. I then bake my clay using the instructions on my clay packaging. Then I get back to my aida cloth, which is now dry. I apply a thin coat of Mod Podge to the cloth just to seal the paint and again to add a bit more stiffness. Now, my polymer clay circle is done. At this point, I realized that I had burnt it a bit. But as the effect was really nice, I decided not to paint over it or redo the circle. Instead, I move on to the most tedious process of this tutorial, which is weaving the native burlap through the tiny holes I made. The burlap strands were already pre-cut to 4 inches in length. I folded each strand in half. Then, I used my dotting needle to push the strand in the hole. I thread both ends of the burlap inside the hole and carefully pulled it out to make a knot. Of course, while it's not obvious here, I was really careful in doing this because the polymer clay circle is quite thin, and if you're not careful, you could break it or break the holes. At first, I thought that the best way was to use my dotting tool to help insert the burlap strands. But eventually, as I got the hang of it, I just used thinner strands so that I could just thread the burlap through the hole manually. I think I spent a good 30 minutes putting all these strands in. Slowly, you can see the shape that I'm going for. Once I have weaved the burlap strand through all the holes, it is looking exactly as I had envisioned it, a sort of sun ornament to hang in one of my frames. I get my aida cloth once more. Using the E7000 glue, I go around my circle and stick this to my aida cloth. Then, I generously apply the glue to my mirror and stick this on the center. Finally, I flip the mirror and get a piece of string, tie a knot, and glue this to the aida cloth, securing it with E7000. For extra support, I also get a little bit of masking tape and glue it with E7000. I let this sit overnight for it to dry completely. That is it, guys. You can hang this in your room as a cute accent, or if you don't want to hang it, you can also use it as a cute jewelry dish. Let me know in the comments below if you like this clay tutorial and if you want to see similar content in the future. Thank you, and I hope that you subscribe to the Craft Time channel. Bye!